Welcome. I'm Dr. Linda Elliott Nelson, Vice President for Learning Services at Arizona Western College. Thank you for coming to learn more about this exciting expansion of the Arizona Western College partnership with Arizona State University, whereby selected bachelor's degrees will be available on-site at our AWC campus. I would like to acknowledge some of the elected officials that are in the room with us. The Honorable Doug Nichols, Mayor of Yuma. Tom Tyree, Superintendent of Yuma County Schools. Our Arizona Western College District Governing Board member, Olivia Cepeda. And special thanks to former Arizona Board of Regents Chairman Bob McClendon, a longtime Yuma resident, for joining us today. Thank you, community members, for support and attendance. And in particular, I would like to acknowledge our amazing college and university faculty and staff. Would you please stand so we can acknowledge you? Dr. Glenn Maley has served as president at 4 colleges over the past 30 years and first retired in 2009. Less than a year into his retirement, Dr. Maley learned of the vacancy for president at Arizona Western College. As a past employee of AWC and with deep respect and love for the college, he accepted the interim and then acting president position. He is now in his 6th year serving as president at Arizona Western College and will retire for a second time on June 30th, 2016. Dr. Maley's leadership and management style reveals his high standards of ethics while providing an atmosphere of mutual trust and support. An energetic leader, he has brought stability to the AWC campus. Dr. Maley earned his doctorate in educational administration from Northern Arizona University. His dissertation was on Arizona community college finances, which serves him well during the current economic climate. His sound fiscal management is a strength, allowing him to lead Arizona Western College through strategic allocations during reduced state funding. His budget building model reflects his commitment to faculty and student learning. Please welcome Dr. Glenn Maley.
Thank you, Linda. I certainly appreciate it. I appreciate everyone being here. That's an exciting opportunity working with Arizona State University. We had a really nice lunch earlier. We had an opportunity to spend time with President Dr. Crow and 3 of the deans that will be making a presentation today. It's going to open the doors quickly, and I'm always thinking about the number of students that will be following. In our conversations, it's interesting when we roll the pages back. As you know, Arizona Western College was founded in 1963. And actually, Arizona State University was offering some courses on our campus. And part of this came to light last year when we were getting ready to celebrate our 50th anniversary and going back through the archives and found a couple of articles. So I want to share one with you. You won't be able to read it from there. You'll just have to trust me. This is high tech, so I wanted everybody to see this. But at any rate, I want you to recognize the fact that we've had a long relationship, classes, working back and forth. But working with an innovator like Dr. Crow, the programs that they're bringing forward, and when you have an opportunity to hear some of the things that are taking place at Arizona State University, it's even more exciting. For us, a recognition of individuals being able to live here, work here, complete their degree is a phenomenal opportunity. And it's just my pleasure to welcome you and welcome Arizona State University, and looking forward to an exciting future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Maley. Dr. Michael Crow became the 16th president of Arizona State University in 2002. An academic leader and educator, designer of knowledge enterprises, and science and technology policy scholar, he is guiding the transformation of ASU into one of the nation's leading public metropolitan research universities, an institution that combines the highest levels of academic excellence, inclusiveness to a broad demographic, and maximum societal impact, a model he terms the new American University. Prior to joining ASU, Dr. Crow was Executive Vice Provost of Columbia University, where he also was a professor of science and technology policy in the School of International and Public Affairs. Dr. Crow has been an advisor to the U.S. Departments of State, Commerce, and Energy, and various defense and intelligence agencies on matters of science and technology policy related to intelligence and national security. He is the author of books and articles relating to the design and analysis of knowledge enterprises, technology transfer, sustainable development, and science and technology policy. We're pleased to have him visit Yuma and Arizona Western College today as we announce this expansion of our partnership.
Thank you, and good afternoon to everyone. It's really exciting to be here in Yuma. My parents were teenagers, and my dad was from Missouri, my mother was from Iowa. My dad drove up to Missouri. He had already joined the Navy as a teenager and stole my mother away without talking to her father, which was very popular. Married her somewhere on his way to San Diego. They get to San Diego, and a few months later, voila. And so we lived in San Diego. I was born in the Balboa Naval Hospital. Some of you have seen the old pink stucco part of that hospital built right up against the zoo. So my father used to refer to me as the product of some kind of guerrilla activity, probably. And that my mother took pity on me and somehow brought me into the family, and they had to clean me up and turn me into a human. And so we believed it for a long time. But we used to go back and forth between San Diego and the Midwest all the time, coming through Yuma all the time, and I remember vividly ruining our clothes once, playing around in the mud on the Colorado River and having to sit in the back seat, not speak for about a day. So that's my boyhood memory of this place. So first, it's really a privilege and an honor to be working side by side with Arizona Western College, to have an opportunity to work on the front line of America's future with the leadership that's here, with the community leaders that are here, with the school leaders that are here, with the students that are here, and others that have come in. It really is exciting for us at ASU. We have a very distinctive charter. Our charter has three key elements. The first part of our charter says that we are a world-class research university that will be known not by who we exclude, but by who we include, and how those students succeed. This is really important. Most institutions, when they become research universities, begin the process of exclusion, excluding more and more students from having access to the great things that research universities can do, and we're very different than that. The second part of our charter is that we will do research and only measure the success of our research on did we benefit the public in some measurable, important, and definable kind of way. And then lastly, we have decided that our university will take responsibility with others for the outcome of our community, that we will not be an isolated ivory tower behind some kind of wall university not engaged on the front line of what America needs. And so we take responsibility for the economic, social, cultural, competitiveness, educational success, all the outcomes that we want our community to have. We take responsibility for those. And then that means then that if we're actually going to do all of those things, we have to be fundamentally different. We have to organize ourselves and design ourselves to be different. We view our colleagues in the community colleges as allies through which we cannot achieve our goals without them, through which our country cannot be great without great community colleges. Our communities cannot be great. Our communities cannot be successful. And so we've gone into the root core of the culture at ASU in the last 13 plus years that I've been there, and changed it from an historic faculty-centric culture where the faculty say, oh, we're not going to work with these people, or we're not going to do this, or we're not going to do that, into a student-centric culture where the outcome of the student and the outcome of the community is our single most important goal. And that says really all that you need to know about us. And the deans that we have here today, 3 deans, and our Vice Provost for Academic Partnerships, Maria Hesse, who's been a community college president in the past, 5 senior officers of ASU that are here today. We're here because we're committed to the success. Who's a student? Who's a student? If you're a student, raise your hand. Yeah. We're committed to your success. That's our reason for existence. But we're committed to your success in the world that lies ahead. The world that lies ahead. Now, here's a funny thing. I want to just put some things into perspective. I get tired of listening to these crazy people on the radio or in the newspaper or on CNN or whatever they're on. They're kind of crazy. Oh, college really isn't worth it. Graduated from high school is barely worth it. And I'm like, you people are deniers of reality to the highest level. You're just a total denier of reality. Let me put some things into perspective. I was just checking the population of the city of Boston at the time that George Washington had encircled the city and forced the British troops out just after the spring of 1775. That would be the summer of 75, after the Battle of Bunker Hill, until the winter of 1776 when the British left Boston. It was a fraction of the size of Yuma. It was tiny. It was smaller than the present city of Yuma. This county is the size of a tenth of the size of the entire country at the time. At the time, there was 1 college in all of Massachusetts, and Massachusetts included Maine at that time, what is presently Maine. 1 college. And so here we are in a very large city, Yuma, in a highly populated region, in a transnational, transcultural, multicultural setting, more complex than anything our forefathers could have imagined. And we're living in a world where things have changed so fast that we need to do everything that we can to build educational infrastructure, to build educational opportunity, to launch new degrees like these 3 degrees that we're launching, to work together with Arizona Western in the way that we're working with Arizona Western, and to change things. Let me give you some statistics just very quickly that tell you how important educational change is. So in 1900, this United States was only 76 million people. 8% had graduated from high school. By 1940, 28% had graduated from high school. Only 5%, less than 5% had gone to college. We improved every single decade educational attainment. High school and college, community colleges coming in the 1960s, until this last generation. So people under the age of 34 are the first generation in the United States to have lower levels of educational attainment. Coincidentally, it's also been the era of economic stagnation, difficult economic development times, income disparities, every problem that one can possibly imagine. And so the people that are talking about there not being a need for additional education don't understand the history of the country. They don't understand how the economy evolved. They don't understand that the single most important factor to education, to economic and social mobility. I come from a working class family. No one had ever gone to college before me. No one had ever finished high school before my parents. Social mobility is a function of educational attainment. Educational attainment today is a function of advancing to higher and higher levels. And so we're committed, and I wanted to state here publicly, we're committed to working with Arizona Western College, to doing everything that we possibly can to provide opportunities for degree attainment, for educational success, and for educational outcomes for this community on every possible level. Barring any barriers that come our way, we will work our way through them. And so I've said to the President and to others that we're here, we're your partner, we're ready to move forward, and we're very excited to be here. So thank you very much.
At this time, I would like to ask Dr. Maley and Dr. Crow to stand. It's been our tradition to set the tone of partnership events with a ceremonial handshake between our two schools, indicating a collaborative spirit and a willingness to work together for the benefit of our students and our community. Ándale. Ándale.
I had too much of Speedy Gonzalez in my head.
I've been told that the superintendent of La Paz County Schools has also joined us. If she could stand so we could recognize her. Dr. Maria Hesse serves as the Vice Provost for Academic Partnerships at Arizona State University, helping to create and sustain productive relationships with community college and other institutions. She is committed to helping more Arizona students complete associate's and bachelor's degrees. Prior to taking this post at ASU in 2009, she served for 25 years in the Maricopa Community College District, most recently at the president of Chandler Gilbert Community College. Please welcome Dr. Hesse.
Well, thank you, Linda. It's my pleasure to explain some of the details of our partnership agreements. So ASU will begin offering 3 distinctive degree programs, primarily through face-to-face courses, taught here in Yuma at Arizona Western College. In January, 2 different programs will begin: a BA, a Bachelor of Arts in Organizational Leadership, and a Bachelor of Science, a BS, in Criminal Justice and Criminology. Then next August, we'll be adding a Bachelor of Arts in Education in Secondary Education. The lower division coursework for these degrees will be taught by Arizona Western College, and the upper division coursework will be taught by Arizona State University. For 2 of these degrees, the criminal justice and secondary education degrees, they'll follow the traditional transfer framework where a student does approximately 2 years of study, 60 to 64 semester credits through Arizona Western, and then they complete the remaining part of the bachelor's degree, 56 to 60 credits, through ASU. The BA in Organizational Leadership is structured a little bit differently in that it will allow 75 credits in transfer, leaving only 45 credits remaining to be done at ASU. Now you may wonder why these particular programs. Well, these programs were jointly chosen after considerable review of the economic development data and the enrollment data here at Arizona Western College. They address the employment needs for the greater Yuma area, and there were adequate numbers of students in the pipeline that is already enrolled in these programs, in classes and programs at Arizona Western that would create the upper division cohorts for the programs with Arizona State University. You know, ASU's programs are rigorous, they're challenging, but what we're hoping is that by making these degree programs available for students who live in this part of the state, that we'll have many more students completing their college degrees. So these degrees are very affordable as well. You know that the first part is very affordable here at Arizona Western College, and a student would do at least 2 years of their coursework at the tuition level of Arizona Western. But then for the ASU portion of a program, a student who would be enrolled full-time in the spring semester would pay only $3,140, which is a very significant savings over resident tuition. That's right, before financial aid. And for those who may be worried about financial need or financial aid, you let us know, because we would be more than happy to work with you on financial aid options. So in our partnership agreement, Arizona Western College is handling the on-site logistics, arranging classroom spaces, helping to market the programs. They will have students sign up for and follow what is already in place via our transfer admission guarantee or TAG pathway programs, such that students will have completed all the needed lower division coursework to prepare for success in the particular university degree they aspire to complete. Then ASU will be teaching the upper division coursework, handling the hiring of faculty for the upper division courses, advising students, and providing all forms of student support. I would like to thank the ASU faculty and staff who have been involved in the planning, many of whom are here today. But I'd also like to give a special thank you to all of the Arizona Western College administrators, faculty, staff, who have worked very diligently over the course of more than a year now to bring this new element of our partnership to fruition. Special thanks go to Dr. Linda Elliott Nelson for leading this effort on behalf of Arizona Western College, for taking the initiative to coordinate numerous meetings and discussions, and for her collegiality and her willingness to work through many, many details with ASU. I'd also like to thank Daniel Barajas, Brian Doak, Jim Hutchinson, Martha Cordova, Lori Stoft, Rachel Caldwell. I could go on, for all of their assistance in getting this off the ground. Thank you ever so much. Dr. Maley, faculty and staff and students of Arizona Western College, you have an awful lot to be proud of, given the history of your outstanding institution. So now's the time to write a new chapter in the history of Arizona Western College, one in which increasingly more students complete both their associate's degrees and their bachelor's degrees. More information on our partnership is available on our shared website. It's easy to find, transfer.asu.edu/AWC. And on your way out today, we also have tables in the lobby with information on each of the programs and about the partnership in general. I hope you will take a few minutes to pick up some of the literature, to ask a few questions, and otherwise learn more about the partnership. So who could have imagined a year ago that it would be possible for a person to complete a highly sought-after bachelor's degree from ASU right here in Yuma? Well, kudos go to the visions of Dr. Crow and Dr. Maley in bringing this to fruition. Whether you're a current student or an alumni of Arizona Western College, I sure hope you'll consider taking advantage of this unique opportunity. And please do tell your family and your friends about it and help us spread the word, for we all want this venture to be successful for both institutions, but most of all, we want to bring success to the students and enrich the community of Yuma. Go Matadors, go Devils.
Now it's time to hear a little more about the specifics of each of the 3 degree programs that will be offered. Dr. Dwayne Rowan is Dean of the College of Letters and Sciences and Dean of University College at ASU, as well as a professor of English. He earned his PhD at the University of Minnesota. His interest in collaborative writing is more than an abstraction, as he has co-authored most of his 130 or so books, chapters, journal articles, and conference papers. He has been a longtime friend and advocate for community colleges and transfer students. In fact, just a year ago, in this very room, Dr. Rowan provided the keynote address for the first Arizona Assessment Conference that we hosted here at AWC. Under his leadership, the College of Letters and Sciences will be offering a BA in Organizational Leadership here in Yuma. Dr. Rowan.
Thank you very much. As we were driving over here this morning, I was reminded of why I'm so excited for this partnership. I grew up on a dairy farm in Wisconsin, and I was able to go to college because there was a college in my hometown. And I think that we're offering that same opportunity to students here, and I'm absolutely thrilled about that. I'm also thrilled to be working with Linda Elliott Nelson, with whom I've worked for a few years now, and it's always such a delight to work with somebody who's so competent and so collegial. The degree in organizational leadership prepares students for leadership roles in a wide array of organizations, nonprofit, government, and business organizations, to name just a few. We launched it just 2 years ago, but already it has more than 800 students in it because it is so popular, because students recognize the skills that they develop in that degree. And students are getting jobs in a wide variety of fields, some that you wouldn't expect even, and others are going on to graduate school. And some of the students in that degree are using it to get promotions in their current places of employment, and it's worked very effectively for that. The degree develops students' skills in areas that are very important to them, and I was talking with the mayor at lunch today about skills and important in the workplace, and he was talking about getting along with others being one of the important ones, and I have to agree with that 100%. Skills in problem solving, communication, teamwork, technology, managing resources, and other areas that are important in every industry and business in the United States. And the degree has interesting courses in such as social processes in organizations, organizational ethics, diversity in organizations, interdisciplinary leadership, assessment in organizations, organizational context, leadership and group communication, leadership theory, project management, leading innovation and change. ASU knows a little bit about innovation and change. Assessing leadership effectiveness, and there are some capstone projects where students are doing incredible work as they go into the workplace. And we're also very proud that we offer this degree in a situation where students can transfer in 75 credit hours from Arizona Western College. Thank you very much for the partnership with ASU and the College of Letters and Sciences. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Rowan. Dr. Jonathan Coppell is Dean of the College of Public Service and Community Solutions at ASU. He also holds the Laddie and Elva Kaur Presidential Chair in the School of Public Affairs. Dr. Coppell joined Arizona State University in 2010, coming from the Yale School of Management. He holds a doctorate in political science from the University of California, Berkeley, and a BA from Harvard. In 2012, he was inducted as a Fellow of the National Academy of Public Administration. Dr. Coppell has focused on preparing students for lives of community engagement and public service while promoting use-inspired research by faculty and research centers aimed at making our communities more prosperous, healthy, and resilient. The College of Public Service and Community Solutions will be offering a BS in Criminal Justice and Criminology to help address needs in our law enforcement, border security, prisons, and court systems. Please welcome Dr. Coppell.
Thank you, Linda. So Maria gave a very complicated explanation of how the degrees were decided upon. I was told we're doing criminology because that's what they want, which seems like a really good reason to me. And it's a reason that, that isn't surprising because criminology and criminal justice is one of the most popular subjects that students are interested all over the country. Now, a few years ago, people said that was because of TV programs like CSI. That probably I see some nods over there, so I think that resonates with some students. But of course, recently, I think the interest is coming from a different place, and the nature of our criminal justice system and some of the challenges that we're facing there is one of the transcendent issues of our time. And I don't think I have to elaborate on that too much. Anybody who turns on the television or looks at their computer knows what I'm talking about. And so it's not surprising, I think, that that this is an area of great interest. And so there's already enrollment in our program starting in January. As Maria said, we've got 15 students already signed up, and that's building on a foundation that we have here. There are about over 30 students who are already in TAG arrangements. So we have a pipeline of students already with a relationship to ASU. I think it makes sense that the College of Public Service would resonate here in Yuma. So I did a little research too. Over 10% of the population here is engaged in some sort of public service activity as a profession. Not necessarily government work, but also social services outside of the government realm. And even 5,000 residents are in the military. Obviously, there's a public service ethic. So it makes sense that there's this foundation to build upon and an interest in public service. And so also under the tent of the College of Public Services, our School of Social Work, our School of Community Development, our School of Public Affairs, We have a new and growing program in emergency management and homeland security, which is, for lots of reasons, an obvious fit here in Yuma. And so we're excited about this criminology program being the beginning of a growing partnership with Arizona Western, and I think there's a lot of good we can do here. Just a quick word about our criminology program. I think it's a really interesting thing. It's a word that people use, but I don't think it's really that well understood. When you are in a criminology program, what you're interested in is the question of how do you enhance public safety? And how do you enhance public safety through an evidence-based understanding of not just policing, but definitely policing, how the court system works, how corrections can be more effective. All of these things are intertwined in understanding public safety. And it turns out that we have a really outstanding school of criminology and criminal justice at ASU, ranked in the top 15, with scholars who are doing tremendous work that has a great deal of importance. Let me give an example of the kind of work they do and the kind of work that our students here will get involved with. So many of you have seen that body cameras seem to be a popular solution to some of the issues that we're grappling with, and that now there's a movement that every police officer should be walking around with a camera, just like we're used to seeing those dash cam videos from cars. Turns out that the most advanced research on using body cameras effectively is done right at Arizona State University by faculty in our School of Criminology and Criminal Justice. And they've done pilot programs with the city of Phoenix, Glendale, and Mesa police departments, having those cameras out there, understanding what issues are raised when you do that. Some of them are expected, some of them are unexpected. Interesting dividends, just for example, your rates of prosecuting domestic violence go way up when you have those body cameras. Just so nobody ever talks about that. It's an interesting consequence. We see that as an exciting contribution, not just to Arizona, but nationally. So a few weeks ago, the Department of Justice awarded a $3 million grant. ASU will be a technical assistance center for all body camera pilot programs funded by the Department of Justice across every of the 50 states. And those projects, where you're doing the research on how body cameras are effective or not effective, all of them involve our students working with faculty to understand those issues. And we've done that in a host of areas. So what we see as the future is that the students here in Yuma will be involved in the same types of activities, working with our faculty. We're already excited that some of the Arizona Western faculty are signed up and teaching for us, and some of the folks from the community in the law enforcement profession are also going to be teaching for us. We foresee an outstanding program that brings all of the richness of what we do in Phoenix here to Yuma, and we couldn't be more excited about it, and look forward to seeing this program grow and the other aspects of the College of Public Service coming here. So I'm delighted to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Capel. Dr. Mary Kerner received her PhD from the University of Illinois at Chicago in curriculum and instruction. An English literature major in college, she began her career in education when she became a second-grade teacher on the west side of Chicago. She has held faculty and administrative positions at Roosevelt University in Chicago and the University of Massachusetts, Boston. She was appointed Dean of the Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College in 2010 and has transformed teacher education programs at ASU. The Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College is currently ranked 17th in the nation in U.S. News and World Report. She and her colleagues are committed to working closely with school districts and community colleges throughout the state of Arizona to help prepare future teachers. In meetings this past year with Yuma Union High School District, it became clear that our focus needed to be on preparing secondary education teachers for the ongoing needs of our local schools. Please welcome Dr. Kerner.
So I'm here today to recruit you into teaching. And to recruit your children, your grandchildren, your neighbors, anyone you see that you think has a lifelong commitment to making sure kids have the best lives they can have. And nobody nobody has that responsibility other than parents and next, teachers. So we are really a fortunate college, the Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College. First of all, we're named after a woman who actually was a teacher and who recently died, and was committed to making sure that every child can reach his or her potential in this democracy. And without someone who can read and write and do math, you cannot have a democracy. So we are at the core of what is important. As Michael said, he was first generation college. My mother was an Italian immigrant. She didn't go to high school. And so what education has done for me may be what education has done for many people in the audience. It has moved you to a different place in life. And you can look back and you can say the central importance of teachers in your journey. Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College is the best college in the country. So we're ranked 17th out of 1,400 colleges of education. And I don't want to jinx myself, but I think that we'll be even getting a better ranking this year. But the ranking is only an indication of the work that we do. And the work that we do is some of the work we do is to prepare people to become the best teachers they can be in pre-K through 12. But we don't do that alone. We do it in partnership. We have a partner right here in the first row from Gadsden. We have a partner right here from Yuma Unified High School District. We can't do it alone. And so we will offer here a Bachelor's of Arts in Education. And you will be recommended for a certificate to teach in the state of Arizona. That means that before you leave our program, I will guarantee you will be offered a job. Most of our students now are offered a job before they even get out of student teaching. And what I take great pride in, is that our students say when they leave, they're not like first-year teachers. They're like actually veteran teachers. And there's a nod here. Because there's a year-long residency that they're embedded in the high school. They're part of the high school. They do absolutely everything that every other teacher in that school does, and they're held accountable for what they do. So we are very excited to be actually partnering with Tony, I want to say she's been wonderful to work with. We're already, after lunch today, figuring out a master's degree that we can offer. So this bachelor's degree, that's done. Now we're getting on to a master's degree. And don't forget, it's your responsibility to help us put really great teachers in the classroom.
Thank you, Dr. Kerner. Tony Bedone is the proud superintendent of the Yuma Union High School District. A visionary leader, she's brought us the Cambridge curriculum and the Ready Now Yuma program. She has served as superintendent since 2007, but has worked in the district since 1984. Mrs. Bedone is a board member for the Arizona Business and Education Coalition, is a state council member for Advance Ed, and is on the advisory council of Expect More Arizona. She is the proud mother of 4 adult children, 2 of whom have degrees from Arizona Western College, and 1 of whom is a graduate of Arizona State University, class of 2005. Please welcome Superintendent Bedone.
I'm not sure what I'm going to add to the conversation, so I'm going to try to give you some visuals of how important this is. But first of all, congratulations to Dr. Crow and Dr. Maley on bringing this partnership. Yuma is known for partnership, but this partnership, again, is going to address a need that I think is vital to our community. So thank you very much. So the picture I want to paint is that this year we hired 65 new teachers for our high school district. That only left 23 openings, which we have sustained for 3 years. It used to be 12 or 14. We'd like to have no openings, but these are openings sustained year-round. Would the first 3 rows of that side please stand up? Just stand up for a minute. I think that's 21 people. If you had that many teachers that you're missing, plus 2, and each one of them would be supporting 150 students, look at what that looks like. Thank you so much. So there's an impact on students because that means that in our classrooms, the class sizes are larger. Many of our teachers are teaching a 6th, 5th. They don't have a planning period. They lose out on adult time with others. They don't have enough time to plan. And even though they appreciate the little extra stipend for doing that, they're not contributing in the same way economically to the community that other folks would be. Plus, they have burnout. And that's an issue. It's an issue for us. Plus, we have 49 people right now eligible to retire from our district. Wow. 65 teachers were hired. Where did they come from? Well, 47 of them said that they were from Yuma or San Luis. Actually, 11 of them were from San Luis. We didn't used to be able to say that, and I want to come back to that thought in a few minutes. But when you think about those 65 teachers, 47 of them from here, that still leaves a cadre of 18 that we hired from other places. We send our administrators to recruiting fairs to the Midwest. We're even doing it earlier. We're sending some in the fall. And we even got 2 student teachers from the University of Northern Iowa last year and found places for them to live during student teaching. That's how difficult it is to find teachers. It isn't just our problem. It isn't just an Arizona problem. It's a national problem. But now we have to compete with everybody else as well. So it is a huge problem. Having this program here, we know will make a difference. So let me go back to San Luis for a minute, and let me do a little bragging about our district and our high schools and the people that we do have. So our high schools, through Ready Now Yuma, have really made a commitment. And it's a commitment and a culture that has grown and grown. And the commitment is that every student, every is the key word, will be ready for success in college and, is a key word, career. Every and. So we have a variety of programs, and if you looked at the 2,500 students or 2,500 exams that were taken last year, they count them as students, but a few of them took more than one, not very many. AP exams that were taken last spring out of 10,500 students, that's an amazing number of students who are already taking college-level coursework. But if you looked at the demographic picture of those students, the demographics of that group of students matches at 79% minority. In our district, we have 82% minority. That didn't used to happen. So now let me talk about San Luis, because that's a prime example. San Luis High School actually opened in 2002 when Dr. Crow became president at ASU. It had nothing to do with each other, I don't think, but that's the truth. And so the school's been around for a little while, not too long, but for a little while, 14 years. And one of the things that happened almost immediately right next to the campus at San Luis High School was an Arizona Western College campus, a building with 11 or 13 classrooms, something like that. So all of our San Luis students have the opportunity not only to see college every day, literally, they see it from lunch, they can see the building, they can walk over there in 3 minutes. It's right there. Not only that, but we have a great education professions, career and technical education program where students who want to be teachers are learning how to become teachers and getting dual credit on their way up to college. Not only that, but we have a partner elementary district, Gadsden Elementary, that's been partnering with, of all people, ASU. And so we are becoming the recipients of all of that work that's been done. Their teachers are doing a fine job. And we are also very proud of the amount of collaboration and professional development among our teachers. Well, that brings me to the statistic for this year, for 2014 graduation class from San Luis High School, where we have the highest number of minority students and the highest number of free and reduced lunch students. They also had the highest college going rate in our district at 70%, 2014, right out of high school. We know what works. We know what works. And if you don't have a child and you don't have anybody to say, hey, go be a teacher, let me just tell you how important it is to our community economically. Our district actually, in 2014, this past spring, we had an economic impact study done by Northern Arizona University on the impact of our district on the local Yuma County economy. We had, in 2014, a $53 million maintenance and operations budget. So that's the budget that you pay people with. Mostly it pays people and it buys supplies. We had an additional $2 million in capital funding from the state of Arizona. All of the rest of it, up to $74 million, all of the rest of it came from grants. We have federal grants, state grants, things that we apply for, and we have a grant with Helios Education Foundation. All of that added up to $74 million for our district for 10,500 students in 2014. But the impact on our county was $106 million. If we lost 23 teachers tomorrow, well, let me put it this way. If we were a small company and we lost 23 teachers, it'd be headlines in the Yuma Sun, because the economic impact of those 23 people would be such that it would be noteworthy. And the economic impact of that small company would be noteworthy. Yet we need 23 teachers today. So thank you, ASU and AWC, and good luck. We're really excited about this partnership.
Thank you, Superintendent Badone. We hope that you have learned quite a bit today about the partnership between ASU and AWC and about the new degree programs that will soon be available right here in Yuma. The partnership plays to the strength of both institutions, and our communities benefit when universities and community colleges work closely together to address community needs. After the event, please do stay and enjoy refreshments and visit the tables in the lobby where representatives from each of these programs stand ready to answer your questions. For the press, we have reserved the East Meeting Room near the Wall of Fame down the hallway, where you can meet the presidents. There are also opportunities to talk with the academic leadership in this room immediately after this ceremony. Thank you again for coming.